Whether for sipping or gifting, wine is often part of holiday celebrations, and it's easier than ever to keep it local with Texas wines, which have grown in quality and stature in recent years. We'll get some great wine advice for the holidays in just a moment, but first, a few quick facts.
Did you know Texas is actually the 5th largest wine-producing state in the country, and the number of active winery permits in Texas has nearly tripled since 2013.
The Texas Hill Country is the 3rd largest viticultural area in the country, with more than 1,000 acres devoted to grape growing at more than 100 wineries. And Wine Enthusiast magazine even recently named the area an up-and-coming wine region.
Plus, and this is my favorite, grape growing in Texas apparently started nearly 100 years before grape growing in California. According to Texas A&M's AgriLife, in the 1680s, Franciscan monks brought over grape cuttings from Mexico and set up vineyards for wine production near El Paso. So take that, California.
I love that. Joining us now is certified sommelier and wine educator Denise Clark with some recommendations and wine wisdom. Denise, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all for having me. I mean, as you talked about, it's an old industry, the Texas wine industry, but the modern Texas wine industry really got reinvigorated again after Prohibition and all of that in the 1990s. And over even the last 20 years, our growers have learned, and winemakers, the grapes that do well in Texas. Like you said, those grapes from Spain, from Italy, from southern France. And that's, when you look at Texas, it's bigger than the country of France. So you would expect to have that kind of diversification in our grapes.
And it's so beautiful. Like, I love that Texas is finally getting the respect in the national wine space that it deserves. Everyone thinks California is where it's at, but no, Texas, everything's bigger here. Apparently now the burgeoning wine industry.
Absolutely. Texas continues to win awards at all of the major international wine competitions. I'm the director of a group called Texas Fine Wine, and as the name states, Texas makes fine wines. Wines that really express their terroir, the culture and spirit of Texas, and they're ageable wines. It's not just wines you drink, you know, in the next couple months. These are some of the big reds that are made in Texas you can put down in age. And that's a sign of an industry that continues to grow and make those kind of quality benchmark wines that people can expect to enjoy for years to come.
And for this holiday season, speaking of supporting local, we love supporting local wines. What are some of your suggestions for local wines that might be a good gift for that special someone this holiday season?
Absolutely. Again, what's fun with Texas is the diversity of the grapes. Yes, we make Chardonnay, we make Cabernet, Merlot, your more common grapes, but there's a lot of great wines that are good substitutes. For example, this Pedernales Cellars Viognier. Viognier is one of the top white grapes in Texas, and if you like Chardonnay, you're going to love the Pedernales Viognier.
Good signs already.
Same with big reds. If you're a Cabernet, yes, you can find Cabernet and Merlot blends here, but you're also going to find big, bold reds like Tannat, like Aglianico, Sagrantino. So for me, giving a gift of a Texas wine of a grape that maybe somebody's never had before is a great way to introduce them to what's happening in Texas and see, oh, this is as good as the cab I usually drink.
Exactly, especially for like one of like those difficult people. We all have one in our lives that maybe they have everything, and I feel like they're not going to have a Texas wine.
Exactly. Another popular grape in Texas is Tempranillo, and a lot of people are familiar. And Tempranillo is such a good pairing with a lot of our cuisine as well. You know, you always talk about, you know, what grows together goes together. And when you think about our Southwestern cuisine and whatnot, a Tempranillo like this, a Good Guy, this is a blend of Tempranillo with some Cabernet and other grapes in it. It's a big, bold red that'll stand up to our spicy foods, to our big beef dinners, all of that. And same with, you know, your holiday tenderloin. Tannat is another big grape that does really well here in Texas. Bending Branch Winery makes many different Tannats, including this sparkling Tannat that you're going to have to try. It is a beautiful wine to kick off your holiday meal as an aperitif, or just to pair if you're maybe also having some kind of spicy foods.
The aroma already sounds delightful. Laura, you just sniffed that. It's sweet, but also...
It was so beautiful. I wish I could bottle that and put it in a perfume.
Absolutely.
It's elegant, timeless, classic. And I'm sure, you know, for research purposes, Texas exclusively, it's probably going to taste even better than it smells.
Absolutely.
Why don't you put it to the test?
Yes,
Okay,
have
yes.
a little taste here.
I will happily take one for the team. You know, Danielle, you can be our designated driver.
I'm
Okay,
good
which
with
one should I
that.
start with?
Yes, let's go with the
This one?
Yeah, sparkling to not. Again,
Yeah, you're supposed to go like this, right?
Yeah, give it a little swirl because that releases the aroma. See what you smell, and then taste. And I'm curious to see what notes you get.
I saw all the bubbles when you poured it, too.
Yeah.
Very refreshing.
Yes.
I love it. Notes of strawberry,
Yes.
of raspberry.
Yes.
And no, we totally didn't prepare this immediately before the interview, so I would sound like an intellectual. But this is good. And even if you're not a big wine lover or a drinker in general, I feel
That's
like
a crowd
this is good.
pleaser, 100%. Yes, it's hard not to enjoy that pretty sparkling wine. And Texas does a really great job with rosé wines. So when in doubt, pick up a Texas rosé, and they will be made from all different grapes. It might be a rosé of Tempranillo, rosé of Tannat in this case, of Sangiovese, of your more traditional grapes like Grenache and Cinsault. Always a good choice.
My goodness. And you have some others here.
Yes,
crowd
another
pleasers.
popular white grape that's doing very well in Texas as well is Roussanne. And Roussanne is a grape that hails from southern France. And this is going to be a kind of a nice combo between again, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio. If any of those lovers would love a Roussanne. But I think you need to try this Viognier we talked about earlier.
Might as well. I tried the
And
one.
Viognier
Can't be
is so
unfair.
versatile. It pairs really well with really so many different foods, including vegetables, which can be hard to pair with.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see my family having this at a very nice, like, Christmas Eve dinner,
Yeah.
especially if, you know, depending on the topics that come up in conversation. I love my family.
Exactly. But probably you can tell that richness and the roundness of the fruit
Yes.
is just, it has so much going on, but it's not gonna conflict with your meal.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What do you, if you had to choose, I know it's really hard.
Don't ask me this
Okay,
question.
tell me a different scenario for each one. This one for...
Oh, okay, let me think. So this, it's a classic, and I feel like it's very dignified. I feel like this would be great, like I said, at a holiday meal,
Yeah.
very refined. She's giving a little bit lighter, refreshing. She's giving
More energetic.
like a night out, like the
Yeah.
holiday Christmas party.
Yes.
You know,
I like
maybe
that.
you know if you're trying to work up courage to get someone under the mistletoe. This lady
I
right
love
here is
that.
what you're looking for.
I think you nailed it.
That's all people are
pretty
going to
perfect.
hear. They're not going to hear the wine text. They're going to hear that.
No, I love it. No, it's just, again, what's really fun is if you go out to the Texas Hill Country, which, as you mentioned, is the third largest AVA in the country, you go down Highway 290, and there's so many more wine